Welcome, your Royal Highnesses. I'm Carol, and you're watching Walt Disney World Adults Only. Today is an Epcot day, so we'll be heading over there shortly. This is our last day at Animal Kingdom Lodge, so we'll be transferring over to Pop Century. So I know we did our split stay backwards because we're going from this big, beautiful room into a very nice but smaller room at Pop Century with less amenities. The reason I did it this way, however, was because I noticed there was about $100 a night price difference at Animal Kingdom Lodge. So to me, 3 nights, that's $300. We're going to go backwards. So we did the 3 nights here, and then we're doing 11 nights at Pop Century. That also affected dining reservations because you have to do each dining reservation separately. So we did get some nice reservations for my shorter stay, which I was really excited about. The longer stay, obviously, if you work backwards to forwards, you do get a lot better choices available because fewer people are dining at that same time. So we were able to get Space 220, which I'm really excited about later on in the trip. So it's been a wonderful time here at Animal Kingdom Lodge. The cast members have been wonderful, the views, the animals. We've had a really good time here. So we're off to Epcot, and we'll do a few things at Epcot, then head over to Pop Century. It's Fran's first time on a Skyliner, so that will be interesting to see what he thinks of that. And then I think tonight we have Be Our Guest for dinner. So we just made it to Epcot. The lines were really, really long. The traffic coming in, they were backed up probably about a quarter mile. So the park is pretty busy today. But we get here and the first thing we see are the JAMMitors are here. So let's take a look. So we started our day with Spaceship Earth. Nothing like some history to start your morning. We are then trying to decide which of the things to try at the holiday festival. So we're still thinking about that. So as we do that, we're going to walk around and head over towards Nemo. So interestingly, on Spaceship Earth, we were behind a service dog, and they stopped the attraction for the service dog to get in. Now, if you've ever been on Spaceship Earth, you know that moves pretty slowly, and I don't think a dog would have a hard time getting on that ride. But Disney being Disney, I was being considerate of others. They stopped the ride just to make sure that the dog didn't get its nails caught in anything and bring any harm to the dog. So if you've watched my video on dogs at Disney, this is just another way they're very protective of animals at Disney, which we love. So there's still a lot of construction going on. It's a beautiful day. The sun's out, quite warm, at least for us northerners, quite warm. I still see some people in jackets. They're obviously from the deep south because to them this might be a little cool. To us, it's a heat wave. Another thing that I found interesting was that the place that I think they're lacking is transportation. So we have ridden several buses to and from, and I think only twice we were actually on a Disney bus. All other times they were the chartered buses that they had contracted out. So they're definitely having a problem with buses. And I don't know why these guys always crack me up, but the little pelicans are just my favorite. And they're just so much fun. Apparently they're not talking today though. So Nemo isn't the most exciting ride, but the last few screens are really cool where they superimpose the characters over the actual aquarium. And then as you get off, you can see some really cool manatees, and we've got this guy eating right in front of us, as well as his screaming children. But they are just so cool. So here are the manatees. So before we head back out to the sunset, we'll wander around here a little bit. I really love how Disney encompasses both action and theme parks, and then still paying homage to nature, and maybe giving people just second thought about the world around them. So beautiful aquariums, mini aquariums, some coral. I'm not good at naming fish, but that one's blue. This is a fish right here, and now most of this coral, I believe, is Disneyfied, but we've got a fish here, we have another fish hiding there, blending in with the scenery. Oh, and I see a sea urchin right there. Now here's a better view, you can see his little eye. Right, there we go. Come on, focus. There, you see the eye and the fin? Some lionfish. And of course, there's a hidden Mickey. Oh, and here's, I don't know what it is, but some long, let's see if it's named somewhere, some sort of eel or a snake-like creature. Over there behind the fish, you see the tail. And here's Nemo. Now these are real. Those sea anemones, which I could never say the word. And these look like they have a little bit of bioluminescence, so this would really be cool to look at night. Although I don't think they turn the lights off in here. And my favorite, the seahorses. So, I am a retired science teacher, so maybe that's why I like these animals more. But seahorses, if you didn't know, are monogamous for life, which is why their numbers are decreasing. But also the male carries the egg in his brood pouch. So some equality of the sexes in the animal kingdom here among seahorses. So a day at Epcot wouldn't be complete unless I saw Figment. As you see, I'm decked out to see Figment today. And I love the old ride much better, but this is what we have now. And Figment is purple, and you know I love purple, so obviously we have to see Figment. And as we're here, take advantage of some character greeting. So I was in line for Figment and got a phone call from Bell Services, which made me a little nervous since they have all our luggage being transferred over to Pop as we're doing a split stay. What amazed me, the phone call was from the woman who picked up the luggage in our room and was transporting it to the van that was going to go. There was a mix-up. They couldn't find one of our large bags. She had me on the phone describing it. They found it, but the same woman who picked up our bags was making sure it was getting transferred correctly. Just another thing Disney does that's amazing. They really have some good follow through their cast members. So far I've had great interactions with all the cast members. Just another way Disney is so special. So we just seen a little character interaction with Joy. We're heading from Figment back towards Soarin'. We will ride that. That will conclude our activity at this end of the park. And then we'll head to the drinking section. Fran still hasn't decided quite what he wants to try. I'm not going with any of the festival things. I have to have my avocado margarita. So that's first in line for me. And then we'll see what Fran wants to get. As far as merchandise goes, I've seen very, very little plush and very few mugs. I had broken a mug before we came down, a Pluto mug, and I've been looking for that. Have seen, I don't know, a tenth of what you usually see for mugs. Didn't see any plush in the Figment area, and that used to have tons of plush in there. So I know they're having supply issues. There's also signs in every store that we've been in, 2 items per SKU number per person. So they are restricting what you can buy. So it's margarita time. And there's always so many choices, but I have to start with my margarita fix with the avocado. I like the cucumber as well, but we started with the avocado. So Fran, what'd you think about the avocado margarita?
Excellent.
Ooh, an excellent.
I recommend that you try it.
That's high praise coming from Fran, whose first choice is always, it's all right. So an excellent on the margarita. To the team back home, cheers. Courtney, this one's for you. So Fran, you had the pastrami sandwich.
On rye with mustard.
How was it?
Out of this world. I should have got 2 of them. for what they wanted for them.
And what beer are you drinking?
Some kind of a... I don't know what the name of it is, but I asked them, they said it was a dark beer. It's like an IPA, but I don't care. It's all right. It works.
It's all right. But the pastrami was a keeper?
Pastrami was definitely a keeper.
All right.
I'd stand in line for another 15 minutes for that.
Okay, so those of you who don't know my husband, that is extremely high praise coming from him, because usually it's all right. Every once in a while you get an excellent, but for him willing to stand in line, it's amazing. All right, so pastrami is a keeper. In case you're wondering where he got the pastrami on rye, it was here between France and Morocco. So it's a Sunday night. We're crossing the bridge by France into Epcot. Crowds are a little less than they've been earlier on the weekend. But there's still a decent crowd. It always looks so pretty.
Way down there.
As you look around.
You're out, Robert.
Although that Harmonius in the circle there does sort of hide what we used to be able to see. So we're at Epcot enjoying a lovely glass of champagne. We'd hoped to stay to see Harmonius. I think Fran is fading, so we probably won't catch it tonight. We'll catch it another night. But the crowd level has definitely dissipated over the weekend. It is a Sunday night, but it's still a pretty good crowd for a Sunday.
As packed as it was yesterday.
So we just returned from the Yachtsman, where we had dinner. and we haven't eaten there in 2 years. They sit us in the same little alcove of two tops, except we sat on the left one instead of the right one. And I swore that we had the same waitress that we had 2 years ago. So when I asked her, she had been there for 9 years, and that's her usual section. So it's very, very probable that Lulu waited on us 2 years ago. She was very lovely tonight. She has just been given a promotion to go to the Star Wars Hotel and serve meals there. So she's really excited about that. So Fran is bailing. He's tired. Can't turn that frown upside down. So he's heading back to the room.
My legs are killing me again.
His legs are killing him. His feet are killing him. So he's going to head back to the resort, and I'm going to head into Epcot and watch Harmonious. Bye, dear.
Bye.
So Fran bailed. He went back to the resort. I'm waiting for Harmonious. I'm going to be crazy and walk to the other end from the Skyliner to pick up a ride or two. Very low wait times, except for Frozen, which still has a 2-hour wait right now. But this is Monday night, and it's still fairly crowded, especially for on Monday. But people are here enjoying the park. There's Mexico across the way looking very pretty. So I don't know if it was the No Way Jose that gave me all this extra energy, but I just walked from the Skyliner to the front of the park because I realized I hadn't had a picture in front of Spaceship Earth. And Fran's home sleeping by now, back at the resort, and I'm pretty wired. So I'm going to hit a couple rides, head back to the France end around 9 to watch Harmonious, find a good space to watch it there. And then that way I'll be close to the Skyliner to stand in line for a little bit to head back to the resort. So it's been a great day. I feel like we did a lot. We started at Hollywood Studios, ended up, where am I? Epcot. Duh. Epcot. See the big ball behind me? We had dinner at Beaches and Cream, which was our first time ever eating there. Very simple menu, but very filling. Quick service. The No Way Jose was fabulous. I had it with all chocolate ice cream. Fran helped me. But I think I could have finished it all by myself if I had left off half the top of the sandwich. I think I could have finished it. Maybe I'll have to go back and try it again. All right. So I'm going to hit Soarin' and Figment. Both of those have a pretty low wait time. And then I'll head back over to World Showcase and find a good spot to watch Harmonious. Hi fellow Disney lovers, this is future Carol, returning after my several days at Epcot. By the end I had such bad laryngitis you couldn't hear me if I shouted. So I wanted to sort of give you a recap of what we did at Epcot and what we enjoyed. Surprisingly, I drank very, very little at Epcot this trip. I don't know what was wrong with me. We had a couple of glasses of champagne, and we had a couple of margaritas from Mexico, including that hidden menu item that's extremely expensive, but you gotta do it once. It's just something that's too cool for words. We did meet with some friends, new friends I should say. We met Howie and Andrew, who were winners of my $25 Walt Disney World gift card, and they were so much fun to talk to. So guys, I hope you continue watching our vlogs and follow along on our journey. And congratulations. I spent more time at Epcot than Fran did. He bagged a couple of nights. I watched Harmonious several times. And I will say, I do agree that watching it front on center gives you that full experience, but I was really afraid of watching it from a different position so you didn't get that full circle view, would really diminish it. And there's enough little side pieces that you're seeing most of what they see in the front, but sometimes you just don't want to be in that full center crowd. I watched it a couple times from the bridge, and if you're on the Skyliner route, from the bridge, getting back to the Skyliner before the crowds get there was worth seeing a little bit less of the full show. I thought the music was much more powerful than Enchantment. Some of you will agree with me, some not. Please put your comments below and let me know what you think about that comparison. I'd really appreciate that. Again, it's only my opinion. We rode the traditional rides several times. The rides didn't really seem crowded at all at Epcot. Saw Figment, got to ride Figment all by myself in the entire car. I was the only one there. That was sort of fun and sort of scary at the same time. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching our vlogs through Epcot over several days, gave you an idea of crowd levels and such. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. I always appreciate that. And if you're not a member of our channel yet, please join us here. We have adult-centered videos and vlogs to help you plan an adult trip. If you're not a member of our adult-only Facebook group, join us there as well. Again, it's adult-centered discussions. And if you want to go adults only to Walt Disney World, that's the place for your information. And last but not least, remember, even though you're adults, never grow up.